welcome to my e-bike project. So I've gone and picked myself up a used beach cruiser because I really like the laid-back riding style. I also think it looks pretty good. And of course I want to go cruising on the beach, but I want to go fast. So I've also bought an e-bike conversion kit from AliExpress, which is a 1500 watt direct drive rear hub motor. The main focus of this project is that I want to make an e-bike, but I want to make it a stealth e-bike. So we've got ourselves a beautiful classic beach cruiser here, and it would be such a shame to lose style points by clogging the frame up with ugly electronics. So I'm going to try and hide the battery and the controller in a basket at the front. The first steps are to remove everything. I've got to widen the dropouts to fit the hub motor. I have to install a brake mount onto the frame, and I'm going to strip the paint back and give it a flash new colour. And then I've got to build a basket on the front and fit the electric motor and all the components. Let's see what we can do. So originally the bike had those old school coaster brakes, the ones where you pedal backwards when it brakes, but I've swapped that out for the hub motor. So I've gone and found myself a hydraulic disc brake caliper, but the frame's got no mounting points for this, so I've got some steel and I'm going to try and fabricate some nice little mounts and hopefully have some good stopping power on this beast. I've gone and cut the wires to the hub motor. Originally it only went to here, which is obviously fine if you're mounting the controller in the center of the bike, but I'm going to the front there, so I've just extended them all. And then that connects back up to that. And then it all plugs back into the controller. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish this off, cut these, solder them, heat shrink them all up, get it tidy. Alright, so I've got everything on in terms of the seat and the handlebars. Got the back disc brake mounted, and then on this side I had to go and buy a new chain, but then put the chain on and there's so much slack in it. It was either going to be far too tight or far too loose. So I've gone and made a chain tensioner from just a bit of steel had laying around, fairly thick bit of steel, must be almost 5mm. And then that will sit. Got the what are they called? The torque arms there, and then I've made this to fit over the torque arm or over the axle, and then screws through the torque arm also. So there's 2 points of contact, and then just going to have a bolt going through there. And I have got an old skateboard wheel which I fashioned up a lathe, and then I put a little groove in it for the chain to sit in, and hopefully that tensions the chain, so it's going to sit in there like that. Cool, so the electric e-bike cruiser project is complete. So there was a bit more mucking around than initially anticipated. I actually painted the bike twice, so I stripped back the initial coat, or the initial colour, and redid it. Didn't like it, but I'm happy with it now. Had the mods at the back, so I had to widen the dropouts. I had to put the mount on for the hydraulic disc brake caliper, but that all came up good. Works pretty good. And then I got the chain tensioner, which I made, and that seems to be working well also. So the chain hasn't come off since that's been on there. So then also got the custom seat, got the custom grips, custom tyres, Looks pretty spiffy. Then the basket at the front. I think it's 2 fridge baskets, which I just found at the local sort of tip store. I cable tied them together, pretty rugged. And then I chucked the matting around it, just kind of wrapped it all up as if you were wrapping Christmas presents. And then that whole thing's just hose clamped onto the frame, and it's solid. It sort of holds the weight of the battery, the controller. Made the battery myself as well. That's a whole other process. I didn't record it because I was too busy focusing on not burning my workshop down. But that all goes pretty good.